Hi, welcome again. The question we're going to answer today is why do my pills look different? There are three major reasons that I can think of. The first one being comparison of generic versus brand. And related to that is obviously different types of brand manufacturers and different type of generic manufacturers. The next question is branding. The next issue is branding. And the third one is bioavailability. And the third one we're going to just address partially. And the reason we're going to address that partially is because we're going to have to address the issue of bioavailability in a different topic. So let's take the first one, generic versus brand. As we have discussed previously, the way a drug comes onto the market is going through the drug development process. That is the process a brand drug, the first to file, first drug on the market. That's the process that drug takes. When a generic comes, what they're really saying is we already know that this type of product is efficacious. Since we know that it's efficacious, we want to have a generic drug basically is trying to show that it is equivalent. However, when you're showing that it's equivalent, you don't necessarily have to copy what the drug looks like. You just have to show the equivalent therapeutic effect. Therefore, the generic drug often won't look like the brand because it's being made by someone different altogether. The second thing to recognize is that sometimes a brand company, the first company to come out with the drug, may choose to brand their product. They may choose to make it look different, give it a different color, give it a unique look. And the reason they might do that is one, for branding reasons, so that everyone goes, next seem the purple pill. Or they might do it for poison control reasons. So if you have two white pills, the one white pill that has, say, a V mark right in the middle of it, you might know that that's Valium, as opposed to the generic, which may not have a V mark in the middle of it. So for branding reasons and for clinical poison stuff, you might actually want to have pills that look different. The third reason your pills look different is because if you have because of bioavailability. What that basically means is that when you swallow a drug or you swallow a pill, the amount of drug that gets released is often at a different rate. It often depends on what's put into that drug, what kind of active and inactive ingredients you might have in there. Because of that, if you change what the drug looks like and you try to mimic the branding of the drug, you might land up affecting the bioavailability and the release profile of that drug. Because you might affect it, some generic companies will say, I don't want to mess around with that. I'd rather just put my drug out there, get the money I'm supposed to make. I don't want to worry about branding my drug to have specific features. And that's why your drug might be different. The other related issue with that is also to recognize that different generic manufacturers manufacture their drug differently. They might be using different solvents, different colors, and therefore they might make their drug look different. Just because your drug looks different doesn't mean that it's the wrong drug. Relatedly, just because your drug looks different doesn't mean you should just ignore it. You should go and find out whether you have the right drug. And if you do have the right drug, that's great. If you don't, find out what happened. Hope that answers your question. Take care. Bye-bye.